Okay. All right, sorry if you can hear the newsroom behind me. Some Yolanda Saldivar news coming out today about not getting parole. So that news broke today. We definitely have plenty of rain on the radar. I'm going to pull it up full screen here. You can see what's going on. It's been a very rainy afternoon in the coastal bend and in South Texas, and we will be getting to all of the totals, the watershed, what's to come, when does the rain end, etc. So just, this will be a lengthy discussion, so I'm not going to just answer, I can't answer everything just all in one swoop right off the top. Want to thank anyone that's joining us via YouTube, the Facebook, of course, 3 News Plus. We have a lot of great content on 3 News Plus. It's a great resource. I encourage you to download that if you have not already. You can do it right on your TV. And it's like having a channel with only Channel 3 content on it. So I'm going to let people join up. It looks like we have several hundred people online right now. And the radar is active. We've got the morning. Last night we jumped on this. We're talking about the forecast, and I was thinking that this morning would be pretty active. It turned out that action didn't start till about 5 or 6 hours after sunrise, so it was a little bit delayed with the onset of all of the rain that we've gotten here today, but it has certainly happened. So there was way too much just anger about whatever. I don't know why, but we're getting rain. And we had been calling for a general 3 to 6 inches with a little swath of 6 to 9 inches in the B, Live Oak, Refugio, Matagorda Bay stripe of land. That's where we had been focused for the heaviest rains. We'll get to the totals here, but there's still rain falling in a large portion of the coastal bend. You look at the radar, Kingsville, Rivera getting heavy rain, lots of lightning there. If you're watching from Corpus Christi, time right now is 8:32. About 15 minutes ago, you probably heard a big flash of lightning. That was out, or you can't hear lightning, but there was a big flash of lightning, and you probably heard the thunder. That was out at where Ennis-Jocelyn dead ends, south of SPID. So again, rain is still happening, and rain will continue to move through overnight. So this is way beneficial. It's great. It's fantastic for us. The rainfall totals now, this is yesterday and today through 8 o'clock. Again, it's a little after 8:30. Corpus Christi at the airport, around 1 2/3 of an inch of rain. So no, not up to the 3 inches that we were expecting. But again, we're not done with this episode of rainfall. A lot of the city has 2 inches of rain. I'm curious to see what my rain gauge has in it at home. I haven't been home since before noon. I've been here all day. But there could easily be 2+ inches in my rain gauge, have a place in Corpus Christi. So it's interesting the way this rain has fallen. It looks like the areas around Corpus Christi Bay and the coast have been some of the lower totals not that they're low, it's definitely great rain, but comparatively so they are, right? You look at Falfurrias, Sarita, Kingsville, between roughly 4 and 5.5 inches there. Robstown about an inch. Cal Allen, you've gotten more than that, and that's not that much farther north of Robstown. Mathis, Lake Corpus Christi, 5 2/5 of an inch of rain there. 5 to 6 inches direct deposit into Lake Corpus Christi. So we're getting the rain. We are getting the rain, and we're not done yet. You see Beeville, 2.8 inches. Skidmore area, over 6 inches. Not on the map here, but over 6 inches of rain in Skidmore. Tivoli, over 3 inches of rain. I know the Rockport number may be low. These are automated stations. They don't capture the entire city that these are located in. Rain varies, and it can vary by neighborhood, really. So I get it. It probably doesn't match exactly what you have. The point is that everybody has gotten rain, and it has been a notable rain event for the entire area, considering the drought that we are in. The watershed, yes, has picked up. Again, the Lake Corpus Christi, 5 to 6 inches direct deposit right into there. Choke Canyon, also several inches of rain right around that reservoir. And a large portion of the watershed with over an inch of rain. It wasn't the best, but it also was not forecast to be a watershed event. Right? It was forecast to be more so closer to the coast in terms of where the rain was expected to fall prior to Wednesday. When we're leading up to an event, you can only forecast with what you got, right? The data. The biggest miss, in my opinion, is the valley. They're getting crushed in the valley, just round after round after round of severe thunderstorm. The valley's picked up some locations a foot of rain over the last 2 days. So that, in my opinion, is the biggest miss in the forecast, at least from what I was saying. I was calling for 3 to 6 inches here, less in the valley. Not that I was focused there. I wasn't. My primary attention is here, but I did not have that, on our maps. Which are all over Facebook, by the way, if you want to just compare those numbers to what was forecast. And we were a lot lower, by the way, than some of the other forecasts that were out there. I saw some that were over, 10 to 15 inches. Like, we weren't there, but we were a lot lower than a lot of the forecasts leading up to this event. We're not done yet either. We're still looking at more rain overnight and into tomorrow morning. So lake levels, they have gone up. There's no way to know exactly where this will end up at the end of all of the runoff working into these reservoirs, but they've gone up almost a full percent since 2 days ago, 0.5% over the last week, and it's down over the last month still. So a month ago we were at 18%, right? And now we're at 17.5%, where last week we were under 17%. So, and early this week. So that's why you have that change in the up versus down on the week to month change there. So we'll see. We'll see where this ends up. I don't know how where that level will go, how much it'll rise, but it's a beneficial rain. This map has not changed. We have not had any flash flood warnings that I know of, to my knowledge, in the region. And that flood warning, the bright green little polygon in southern B County, that's where that Skidmore rain is. and that's for the Aransas River, which is in action stage. So there is a flood warning there, but the river itself is in action stage and not flood stage at last check. So a flood watch remains in effect until noon tomorrow, and we're expecting more rain overnight. Question from David. Those numbers were from the last 2 days. It was on the top of the, March 26th, March 27th through 8 p.m. And it's the same time frame for the local numbers. Good question. Keep going here. And again, I try to answer as many as possible if I see them. For example, Raymond Acevedo, what's the mosquito forecast? We'll get to that tomorrow, partner. It's going up. Mosquito activity on the rise. So yeah, we'll continue on with this discussion here. This is now model data. This is simulated radar. This is our in-house weather forecast model. So you can't get this anywhere. And I tweak it a little bit. I have my own, personal settings and have this thing tuned in to the way I like to see it. So again, this is custom to KIII here. And at 10 o'clock, we're probably going to have rain moving offshore. Again, the radar is active right now. We have rain ongoing in Corpus Christi right now. By 10, that probably is going to be moving offshore, but waves of rain continue to move through. Okay. Chris and our 10 p.m. producer right here. Thought y'all had some questions about the rain, partners.
Yeah, is it going to rain?
So the Futurecast shows overnight waves of shower and thunderstorm activity moving through the coastal bend. 60s overnight. This is 1 o'clock in the morning. There will be little lulls here and there. It's not just going to be steady the way it was this afternoon. Wow, incredible rain this afternoon. It was steady, hardly let up at all, at least in Corpus Christi, throughout all of the afternoon. Tomorrow morning, again, it's hard to take this verbatim, just given the trigger mechanism for all this is aloft. It's way up, 18,000, 20,000 feet. It's that upper level energy that's coming through. And as those pulses of energy track over us, that's what's helping the rain get going. So it's hard to see those triggers because they're not tangible. It's not like a cold front is coming through here and you can see the wind shift. You know the cold air is bumping up air out ahead of it and then causing rain. It's not like a simple thing like that. So it's the way I think is the best description of the way the rain is going to be moving through tonight and tomorrow morning is just periods of rain, right? Not just a steady rain, but I think off and on rain as we head through the night. And it's still raining in a big portion of the area right now. So this is 7 o'clock in the morning, Friday. I think we keep the waves of rain coming until about early afternoon, and that's when the faucet shuts off. I think through about 1 or 2 in the afternoon, that's when the rain will start to come to an end. And it's possible we catch some sun tomorrow afternoon with highs up near 80 if that happens, if we clear up quick enough. Some guidance wants to stick the rain around even Friday night, but I think that it will start to dry up because of the upper level energy moving past us and us on the dry side of that. So, that's how much I think is still coming. Could have another few inches of rain between now and early Friday afternoon. This is the expanded look. The valley could get more. 3+ inches down in the valley, possible, still on the table. And then less to the north and west. So this is what is to come, not the total. Again, we had the 3 to 6 inch map with that 6 to 9 inch stripe north of Corpus Christi in our forecast. But we'll see how it all plays out once it's all finished. And we could exceed this tonight. If we get just pop after pop after pop and the rain is very heavy, we could exceed this. So, that's what I have on rain still to come. And that all shuts off Friday early afternoon. So that weather impact alert comes to an end Friday in the early afternoon. Live look again at the radar. A lot of Gulf of Mexico rain. All of that rain in the Gulf right now, all of that passed through South Texas. All of that deposited rain over South Texas, and it's just moving on. You look out to Mexico, another round of rain moving toward the Rio Grande, and it's just going to keep coming. We have more rain in the forecast. The feature driving it isn't easy to see on this chart. It was a lot easier to see earlier today, but if you look out toward northern Mexico, south and west of El Paso, at the beginning of the loop, you'll see a little circulation in the wind, the little wind contours. That's the upper level disturbance, and it's getting a little torn apart by the mountainous regions of Mexico, so you don't see it as clearly. But out to the east of that, into Texas, you see how all of those, it looks like bubbles are popping up, right? Those little blue shades, that's all thunderstorm activity. All of those bubbles, that's energy getting ejected toward Texas off that parent area of low pressure, and that is what is driving the rain. So you can easily see that in Mexico there is more out there, and more will be coming as we work into tonight and tomorrow morning. So another broad look at the Futurecast. This is 11:30 now, Friday morning, early afternoon. That should be about it. The upper level low will be moving over south central Texas at that time, and by the afternoon, it will be over southeast Texas, which means that we will be on the backside of that system, and that should mean that the rain chances come to an end as that low moves east of South Texas. Sometimes all I can do is take a deep breath when I see some of the commentary. Maybe a sip of water too. Did I say I said the M word. Oh my goodness. I said Gulf of Mexico. Sorry. So yeah, that is a totally different a different topic. There's no intent there. It's just muscle memory on that. So by Friday afternoon, the low moves well to the east of us, and that should mean the end of the rain. The weekend looks warm, looks humid, and it looks dry. Mid to upper 80s both Saturday and Sunday. And, the heat index with the amount of humidity here is easily going to get up into the 90s. So it's going to be warm and humid this weekend. It'll feel a lot like the middle of spring. Then we get another cold front, this one weak, and it drops highs back to around 80 degrees. Not going to be strong. And the deeper we get into March and April and even into early May, the cold fronts get fewer and further between, right? So there's more time between the fronts and they get weaker is what tends to happen. We can still get a strong one, you know. I've had jackets on opening day at Whataburger Field with the hooks before. I've had a jacket on for that, like a winter coat. So it's not, you know, impossible, but just the trend is weaker and less often on the cold fronts. So Monday is the next one. It doesn't look like a strong one. You see the upper 80s Sunday and Monday. Little modest drop back down to around 80. That's about average for the time of year. And then we warm right back up into Wednesday, Thursday of next week. I'm going to go way back, cycle back to the radar. Just want to do one more check on it. That's a funny comment, Cheryl Marie. Humid and dry in the same sentence. When I'm saying that, I mean the air is humid, but we're not getting rain. That's how my brain is registering that when I say it. Yeah, so the Gulf. I will address it again. There is no intent one way or the other to call that body of water the Gulf of Mexico or the Gulf of America. All of the Hurricane Center maps have Gulf of America. All of the Weather Service maps have Gulf of America. I've been saying Gulf of Mexico for my entire career, so it's tough mentally to, you know, stay out of that. It just kind of comes out from time to time. I'm sorry. It's probably going to be said one way or the other again moving forward. I hope that's not the focus of what we're talking about. My intent is to just call it the Gulf to stay out of all of it, but it's another thing I've got to think about amidst everything else. So please, you know, there is no intent one way or the other. That my intent is to say Gulf when addressing that body of water. So it is what it is. That's the world that we live in right now. Rain still falling. Back to the radar here. There are storms, and there will continue to be storms overnight. I'm just doing this one last check. It's 8:50. We started this a little before 8:30, and I will try to get to some answers. If there are any questions, I'm hoping there are some. If not, I can just log right off. But you know, I'll probably stay on till about 8:55 or 9. It's almost 8:52 according to my watch. Thank you for watching this, by the way. If you're still on here, hanging tough through all the ramblings, I appreciate it. You know, all of us live here too. We want the best outcome for everyone in the area. We have to walk around the grocery store with you. I look you right in the eye, and I want to, you know, be proud of my work because we work for you. I'm not doing this right now, Facebook, because it's not for me. Like I know what I think. I'm just trying to share thoughts with everybody. So, you know, we want to be as correct as possible. That's the goal. And right now, I think the rain outlook is pretty good compared to what we were talking about in the lead up to this event, which again was 3 to 6 inches. You can search that map out all over the social media platforms and you'll see it. So we'll see where we end up at the end of all of it. Freddie Sanchez. What should I expect it to be like around 11 a.m.? I'd say it's possible for some shower and thunderstorm activity. It's hard to pin down an exact time with the way the rain is developing, and it's an upper level trigger, but that's a fine question. After this, we don't have any significant rain chances into next week. Another good question. Aviana DeGraff, why is the lightning so concentrated? That's another good question. So for example, you'll see a couple of areas of lightning on the radar right now. One of them is between Hebronville and Falfurrias. The other one is near the Baffin Bay. And then we've got more out in the Gulf. And the reason the lightning is concentrated in those specific spots has to do with the updraft strength in these storms. So the wind going up into the storm, feeding the storm, the updraft is pushing water up into the frozen part of the atmosphere, and we're getting hail development. And typically hail is a precursor, like you got to have like frozen hail up there to get lightning to start developing. And in essence, if you're seeing those clusters of lightning, it's an indication that you have a stronger thunderstorm. So that was a good question. Raymond asking if this is a change in our weather pattern. I would say yes. This has been a change to the dry pattern of weather. Yes. Will the harbor bridge be closed? I don't know why it would be closed unless there's some type of flooding that I'm not aware of. You know, the construction in that area could make water flow in weird ways. I'm not sure on that. I don't think there's a reason to have it closed. Just try to see. Don't know if this is going to be enough to lift burn bans. Those are people decisions, not, so I'm not privy to that. David Rodriguez asking, any chance for tornadoes? Down in the valley, there's been some tornadic and tornado-warned storms. Here, we have not seen any severe storms in the KIII viewing area, so at this point, the risk looks low, but it's not no. It's just low. So, and it goes down tomorrow a bit. Sylvia Boyd, possibility of hail tonight, question mark. There's been pea-sized hail here, but we have not, again, seen activity that is rising to severe level in the coastal bend. All of that's been down in the valley. Bethany Wells asking if we're projecting an active hurricane season come June. I'll be at a conference in the coming weeks, and we'll be learning a little bit more about that. Right now, the El Nino La Nina teleconnection looks like it'll be neutral for a lot of the season. So my hunch right now, just off the cuff, is that we're going to probably see forecasts come out calling for at or slightly above average tropical activity this season. That could mean, I believe average number of named storm is 14. So, I would say we're going to see ranges in the teens category. That's just my hunch right now off the cuff. Okay, we're approaching 9 o'clock. I'm going to put the 7-day. You see the rain going to continue overnight into tomorrow morning. It'll be off and on. It'll ebb and flow, waves of showers and storms. And we have the rain in play through early Friday afternoon. After that, I put the little sliver of sunshine on Friday with intent. I think there's a chance we get a little sun late in the afternoon. After that, a few little minor chances for rain early next week with that front in the vicinity. But overall, very spring-like. This is looking like more like May than late March, early April on the 7-day. So Mosquito paradise, it looks like early next week. Takes about 48 hours after the rain stops for those to start going. So 9 o'clock, again, thank you for hanging out with me. I'm going to go get ready for our 10 o'clock broadcast here, make sure everything's all nice and updated. Carly will be here in the morning, Kristen in the overlap time frame between Carly and I tomorrow, and then yours truly back, hopefully just easy peasy Friday afternoon, just recapping rain totals. So we'll leave it there. Again, thank you for joining, however it is you're joining, 3 News Plus, YouTube, Facebook Live. We'll see you all soon. Stay safe.